Hi, my name is Daria, and I am a certified life coach. I am also the founder of Beyond the Vision LLC, which is my company where we are helping women maximize their potential, sustain their goals, and live life by design. I am also the state rep in the North Carolina district for the Deborah's Network, where we are also empowering and teaching women about kingdom concepts and kingdom mindsets and how to live life by design. And we are this would be God's design because this is part of a women's ministry. If you want to know more about that ministry, please email Deborah's Network more info 2019 at gmail.com. And if you want to know more about my personal company, Beyond the Vision, you can find it at dariajosiewoods.com, dariajosiewoods.com, dariajosiewoods.com. And that is also my handle for my social media networks. Social media pages, I'm sorry. So that would be Facebook, and I am also on Instagram, and I am on Twitter. So you can follow me in each one of those venues and you can find out more about me. Today, my topic is about 5 mistakes people make before leaving their job. 5 mistakes people make before leaving their job. God had called me off of my job. And I had to realize at first when he called me off of my job, I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for it financially. I wasn't ready for it spiritually, and I wasn't ready for it physically because I've been working all my life. I've been working since I was 14 years old. And so I knew that I had this entrepreneur call on my life, but I did not have the support, if you want to say, to help me to maintain those three things: mentally, financially, spiritually. And so now that I have that support, and now that I've started a business, and now I have the favor of God on my life, this is wonderful. And there's a process to it though. And people sometimes just jump into leaving their job just because they heard a word from the Lord, or they feel like that it's just their time to move forward. Um, you can mess yourself up like that. You can really mess up your life. You can mess up your finances. When you are called off your job, it is a time for you to mature in whatever it is that God is calling you into. It is time for you to make sure that you have the right things in place to leave your job. I mean, some people take the leap and they bootleg it to the top, and then there's some people that make the preparations and then leave their job and go on to live wonderful lives. I don't personally believe that God called all of us to work at a 9 to 5. I think that is just like a buffer in between, because there's some people that are just called to be entrepreneurs. And I was just one of them. Tell you the truth, I hid in a job. I knew that I was called to be an entrepreneur. There were too many entrepreneurs in my family for me not to know that it was just in my genes. It was just who I am. But we're going to get into some great topics here, and I want you to share this out, and we're just going to go into this message right away. So number one is the most important to me, and that is, the first mistake is not knowing your numbers. Remember that you are running a business, and you should always know your numbers. And we are going to go through a little example of that. So what is your numbers? So your numbers are what it would take to pay your bills every month, what it would take to run your business every month, what it would take to travel, what would it take to take care of your family. You never know what's going to come. What's your emergency fund? the number that you come up with is going to be a scary number. So here is a little example. I used this a couple times, and I wasn't able to redo this at the moment. I'm not sure if you can see this, but just to say, I started a business, and I wanted to create a program. So I'm starting a business and I want to create a program. So what would it take for me to start a business and run a program, and still and get off my job and take care of my family and make sure that there is no lack? So I'm starting this program, and it is about, I need about $15,000, car payments, medical bills, we're, not like the health part of it, but the very payment every month. When you're not on a job, you pay for your own health insurance. So that's about $1,200 a month if you're paying for your own health insurance. So I need to think about, because I'm starting a program, I need to think about my email list. That's $10 to $40 a month. Facebook ads, internet service. I need to think about the lights. I need to think about lights, as far as electricity. I need to think about the landing page. That just added up to $350 alone. Then now I'm thinking about my time, my travel, my booths, my bills, my gas, all of that. So what am I going to charge for this program? See, this is what people don't realize. So, when you see somebody get on a webinar and, at the end of the webinar, they're like, okay, well, we're going to charge, introductory price of $397. And that be the introductory price for that 24 to 48 hours. But if you get the program beyond that point, then it might be somewhere around $1,500. They have a number in mind. They have, a number that they are getting, looking forward to making. So with the less, they're looking forward for the number that they are making with the word I'm looking for is, with the less quantity. So if I had a program and I just threw a number out there. So if I wanted to make $15,000 and I just decided to have this program for $397, I'm going to have 40 people in this program, at least 40 people in this program, to make $15,880. And that is before taxes. We're not even talking about taxes and, stuff you got to do with business. So, but if I got smart and decided I'm going to pay, and your program is worth it. Your program is worth it. So I say, you know what? I don't want all them people in the program. I don't want to be responsible for all them people at one time. So I'm going to go ahead and charge $1,500 in a payment plan to 10 people. And here I am at $15,000 with 10 people versus the $397 at 40. You get what I'm saying? So we want to know our numbers before we even get into creating programs. And that's another thing. When you are creating a program, this is just it's something I'm throwing out there. When you are creating a program, make sure that you're creating the program for the people that you are serving, not creating a program for what you think that they would like. Sometimes you need to ask questions to the people that you are serving. So so that you're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping it stick. So exactly what these people want. And once you get the people that you want on your list, or the people that are willing to buy from you, then you won't have to sift through all the other stuff. All right. So, okay, that's number one. Number two, You want to have at least 6 months of income saved up. I know you've heard that a million times, but it is true. Before you leave your job, have at least 6 months of income stored away, because you never know what's going to happen on a rainy day, or if it's ever so possible, that have something part-time that you are doing on the side. Let your business be your hustle on the side so that you are secure with leaving your job, because there is a reason that you have to develop this other income source, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But make sure that you have at least 6 months of income stored up. And if you are a couple, make sure that you have at least 6 months of income stored up anyway. Your husband might take care of you. But if you're husband and wife, you can make a little arrangement, because we as business people know that it takes almost 90 days to get some momentum going. So if he can give you 3 to 6 months to develop some more income, that would be great too. And you trust yourself, right? You trust yourself to do this, and you're responsible and you're disciplined enough to do this, right? Because this is why you got into it, right? All right, so that's number 2. So number 1 is not knowing your numbers. And remember that you are running a business. It is no longer a hobby. You are running a true business, and you're looking to reach a certain goal every month. Number 2, the mistake you would make is not having 6 months worth of income saved up. Number 3, not believing your why and not really knowing your trade-offs. So in business, you will get discouraged. Every month is not going to look the same. But why did you get into the business in the first place? And you're going to have trade-offs. Trade-offs are the things that you are going to have to sacrifice. You are going to have to sacrifice time with your family. You're going to have to sacrifice food. You're going to have to sacrifice many things to get to where you want. Now, there's going to be a time, because there's a difference. You are a CEO when you have other people doing the majority of the work for you. You are a business owner, a founder, when you're doing the most of the work. You'll catch that later. But you have to always go back to why you've done this. Why did you start this business? What was it about this business? And it has to be more than money, because money is only the energy that is coming to you for your service. So what is it that caught your attention that you were going to run this business, and you were going to run this business according to the purpose that is in your life? And you stay with that, because that is going to draw you on those days where you feel like quitting, those days where you're not making the money that you want to make at that point in time. It's going to be the common denominator in everything that you do, your why. When you look at your kids and say, I want to pay off their debts, I want to buy them houses. Or when you look at your husband and say, I want to take him off of his job, I'm tired of him working like this. When you look at your family and say, you know what, I think we just need a bigger house. We need to do more for our life. This is going to be what is going to draw you and keep you. The faith that you build into that why. Believe me when I tell you. I mean, people make it look glamorous. Business can be glamorous, but who wants to sit on a beach with a laptop that vision that they give you is superficial. Nobody sits on a beach with a laptop. You sit on a beach to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You can't be tripped up by the seducing spirits that are out there in this business world. So what does this why look like for you? What do your vacations look like? What does, having that maximum amount of money in your life look like? What does that feel like? What do you envision? The Bible tells us to write the vision and make it plain. What did you write? And what actions are you taking towards it? This is number 3. This is why. And people's whys are not strong enough. And that is why 90% of the time, not 90%, but it takes them a little bit longer to make the money that they want, because they truly didn't believe in the why they started, because it's not giving them the drive that they thought it would give emotionally. Business is not about emotions. Keep your emotions out of it. You will feel things. You will be frustrated. You will feel the rejection, but you keep going. It's just a feeling. Keep your feelings out of your business. So that's number 3. Number 4, and I was leading into it, depending on your family and your friends to support you. Your family and your friends grew up with you. They know certain behaviors that you have. They understand that, you tried this, you tried that, you weren't consistent in this, and, you tried to be a leader and you fell off. They understand these behaviors that you had growing up. They know you from the past and they judge you from the past. They may support you with little things, but they're not going to support you with everything. And sometimes you just need to ask. Some family members are just waiting for you to ask for that support. But don't get to the point where you are upset because your friends and your family are not supporting you, because everyone has a different purpose in life and everybody has a different passion. Although they might be happy for you, they are not going to constantly keep supporting you through it. Now, if you become a multimillionaire, of course, they're going to, support you any way that they can. But you deal with that on a different level. But at the beginning of your works, don't forsake small beginnings. Keep going, as I continue to say, keep moving forward, because the people that are actually going to buy from you on a consistent basis are not your friends. They're your customers. They're your clients. So you have to understand that and quit getting attitudes with people because they are not supporting you. And this is also with your spouse. Like, your spouse may be totally interested in something else, but he will support you, or she will support you as far as you're going to go. Once they see you being consistent about the business or being consistent about what you're doing, they will jump on board. But sometimes it just takes that drive and consistency that people need to see in you. But don't depend on that. Do not depend on that. Okay? So that's number 4. Number 5, create a business that that will be sustainable. There is a lot of businesses out there, including MLMs. And what people fail to do in MLMs is to LLC their business. It's truly not your business until it's your business. You're actually making money for somebody else, and you're getting a certain portion out of it. But for example, if you're in an MLM, just say that someone, you know what, never mind. I'm going to leave that for another day. That's going to be another topic. I'm going to write that down right now. MLMs and LLCs. We're going to skip that. We're going to write that. That's going to be something else for another day. But create a business that is sustainable and that will survive through the times. That was my example. So I need to think about another example, but you have to scale your business. Your business has to be scalable. You just can't come out with one thing and think that that's going to be your your see all, your know all, because that might not be the product that makes you um, wealthy. That might not be the product that people are drawn to, and it might not be the product that people like. You got to think about the people that are going to be unhappy, that might want their refunds back. I mean, their money back, because it wasn't what they thought it was supposed to be. You put all that kind of stuff in your contract if you're going to do refunds or whatever the case may be. But you want to make sure that your business is scalable. For example, if I create, a consulting service, that is my first stream of income. And then I go and bounce onto a mentorship program. That's the second stream that the first stream of people could graduate into. So my third stream of income would be something greater than that. So you have an A, B, and a C. And the C is your elite program. That is the program that you're scaling to. That might be your $5,000-$10,000 program, but your program has to continue. It has to be scalable, and it has to be sustainable, and it's something that can repeat itself and that you can make money off of. And I want to add a part B to that. You need more than one stream of income. If you're making money off of, just say, paparazzi, you're starting to scale it. It's starting to make $4,000 to $5,000 a month. You might want to start thinking about your second stream of income, thinking about what is next. Like, do I want to get into real estate? Do I want to get into coaching, business coaching? Do I want to get into consulting? There has to be another stream that your clients can climb on to and say, you know what, she treats me so well, or he treats me so well. I know that they may have something else that is out there for me. So you need to make that available for them. And, one day they may ask you, like, do you do something else besides paparazzi? Or do you do something else besides, well, you can say, yes, I do this. This is what, you can go here and check this out. So you have to have more than one stream of income. And last but not least, I know I gave you more than 5. Kudos for you guys. But last but not least, you're now walking in, you're not in the employee mindset anymore. You are now walking into an entrepreneur. You no longer can think about you. I mean, you cannot no longer think about your business or you as an employee. You now have to cross over as an entrepreneur. And that is a whole different thought process. I'm gonna get into that a little bit later, but it's a whole different process of thinking and mindset. And that's why Beyond the Vision teaches that. Beyond the Vision teaches you about the mindset that you would have to have as an entrepreneur, the mindset that you have to break through and break forth to even do anything like this, because there's a lot of negative things that came up in our life, and a lot of negative things that sit in our subconscious that tells us that we cannot, or gives us low self-esteem, or makes us believe that one person is better than the other. But how many of you all know that God is no respecter of persons? If you're willing to put the work in, and you're willing to pray and do the strategies that, God or the Holy Spirit give you, or even, whatever you do to get into your thinking pattern, it'll come forth for you too. And don't allow fear to stop you. Fear is just what it is. It's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. And you have to go forth. The Bible even talks about lazy people do not inherit the kingdom of God. So God don't even like laziness. God doesn't, he wants you to work. He never told all of us to go get a job, but he did tell us to go work. And so he wants all of us to work, but to work out of our purpose, to work out of that thing that he has placed inside of us. All of us came equipped. And don't forsake small beginnings. If you are one who make cakes, you probably make the best cakes in the community. Why are you not selling cakes? I make awesome pound cakes. That is just my specialty. It was my grandmother. She raised me, making pound cakes. She showed me how to make pound cakes, and I can make pound cakes in every flavor. It's just, and I can bake. I'm just a baker. What I thought was a hobby may become something one day. I still bake cakes, but when I tried to do it as a business, I noticed something. I noticed that the pleasure was coming out of it because I was making so many cakes at a time. It was like, the pleasure that you had when you was making it at Thanksgiving or you was making it for a friend, the love that you had for it, it was disappearing. It was like, oh, I gotta make cakes, instead of, wow, I gotta go make a cake for the family. I know they're gonna like it. So I knew that was just something that was near and dear to me that I could not take on the road. I knew that was just something that, I can pass down from generation to generation. I can teach my nieces or just girls and women's how to make pound cakes when I'm ready to give up that recipe. So let's do a quick review. So number 1, not knowing your numbers. Number 2, not having 6 months of savings or having enough money to pay your bills for the year, if possible. Number 3, not believing in why and not knowing your trade-offs. Number 4, depending on family to support you. And number 5, creating a business that will not be sustainable and trying to survive on one stream of income. And as a bonus, we said not looking at yourself as an entrepreneur and still receiving yourself as an employee. I hope that this helped you. I pray that this helped you. And I pray that you will go over this list and really take this list seriously if you are trying to become an entrepreneur, if you're trying to start any business venture. Take these into consideration. I want to update you all. I am coming out with a 12-week mentoring program that is going to help with this kind of stuff. And not only are we going to do a 12-week mentoring program, but after the 12 weeks, we're going to do a 21-day accountability session. And that is going to help you with the stuff that we learn within the 12 weeks. That will be coming out soon. For those who are thinking about leaving their jobs to pursue something else, looking to get promoted in their job, for those that are looking for clarity with strategies, many people are looking for that, looking for their gift. Looking for their gifts and who they are. And this 12-week program is going to help you build that. And I think that is all I have for you tonight. And I want to thank you all for joining me. I thank you all for the people who will be watching the replay. Please share this out because I know that it will help someone understand where they're going in their entrepreneur ventures. And that's about it. That's all I have for you today. I will be back next week with some more great content. Until then, have a wonderful weekend.